Mr. Panulo. Sorry, let me bring the mic closer. Mr. Panulo and Forex. Wow. It's always so beautiful to see the originals. And you know, everybody is like the family is growing obviously, and it's a beautiful thing, but pokes. I was about to go to sleep, baby. Well, I'm gonna let you go to sleep. Don't worry. It's gonna be very quick, but I got something fiery to bring up with all of you guys. To see, like, besides speculations, you know, it's always beautiful to see things, right? Mr. McCown, what's up, brother? You're gonna love. Well, you're gonna love what you're gonna see, but in the same time, you're gonna be left with some. I don't know. For me, this stuff had left me with some uh, anger feeling. You know, you see it because it's right there in front of us. It's like, and I've been like saying it since literally the beginning of almost my channel, which was it's only about 4.5 months. Um, but I've been saying it since then. But again, you know, being a smaller channel, you don't get to be heard, and sometimes you know things are just taken away as time progresses. But 3 months later, wow. Derek A, how's it going? I'm just waiting on a few more people so I could start dropping things on you guys. Don't worry, not bad, but you got to be informed and you got to stay informed. And I want specifically, Luna, how are you doing, my friend? Um, I want everybody to stay informed, and I want specifically the people that have been here. It will be very beautiful if the people that have been here since the beginning of this channel to fact check and verify exactly what I'm saying in this live. Okay. So Mario, Forks, you guys, I remember you guys. I mean, everybody else is amazing as the time have come, but I want, since the beginning of the videos that were being loaded, I want you guys, because I remember you guys being aware of those videos and what I was asking the community, and they could verify what I was saying. So I want everybody to be there for that. Hey, from Jerusalem, how are you, brother? KGW, yes. How are you, my friend? Mrs. Gloria, how are you? Yeah, I'm going to share with you guys what happened the whole day today and the past few days, especially with AB as far as medical situations. But like I said again, I want people to see what I'm about to say to you. And in the same time, I'm going to show you my phone as far as, since I don't have screen sharing technology yet. I know I'm still 19th century, but since I still don't have that, um, I will flip my screen to the camera and show you guys the things that I'm reading to you. Jason Scott, how are you? And from La La Land, I like it. I love it. Jason, you're also one of the people from way back then. I want you to fact check, be one of the people, you, Mr. Panulo, Forks, KJW, you know, you guys have remember at least the really old videos that I've brought out. And by really old, I mean just 3.5-4 months ago. So you guys will fact check what I say now as I share it with you, because smaller channels, that's all we could do, right? And this means the world to me that, you know, you guys in here get to see that and just fact check that. Doesn't matter how many. I'm telling you, you guys are going to be left with something like a feeling of like, what the hell? Like that kind of feeling. That's what you're going to be left with. Veronica Chase. How are you, my friend? I'm glad that you're on here as well. And you're one of the people to perhaps also fact check this. Tiny investors also can definitely fact check this if Tiny Investor is around. All right. So I'm gonna begin with the medical stuff so that I could get that out of the way. Whimsy Chick, how are you doing? And then after that, I'm gonna start showing you guys exactly like the title says, what Nasdaq sent the SEC in their own way. Like they sent 29 pages of a message. Tiny investor, yes, you can fact check this now when I say this stuff. When they basically Nasdaq sent their message 28 to 29 pages in a file as a response to one of the SEC's proposals. Guess who also sent messages to the SEC about that proposal? Like the title says, Citadel and Virtue, the two prime market makers in our system. And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sequoia as well in there. Again, there's so many comments in there that personally I haven't been able to go and roll through them. I mean, if Nasdaq alone has 27 pages, like one of them has like almost 60 pages, like some other counterparty. And you know, me with my time and like and situations that I've been dealing with, like to like read all that stuff, I would over a few days, but I don't even have the screen sharing technology to even share it all to you through that way. But I can send you in the right way. Pabloco, you're one of the people that will fact check what I'm about to say as well. What's up, brother? KL, what is going on, my friend? You're possibly also one of the people that can fact check some of these things. One second. Let me just respond to one of my friends. Talk and no, I am live now. I will talk to you after. See, everything is so out loud with bbig. Everything is just like clear and unfiltered. All right. So, oh, and Leo the Lion can fact check this. What's up, brother? Welcome in here. So to all day today, before I jump into that stuff, so I could just get that out of the way, all day today, I've been dealing with different kind of specialists, and this one was for like legs and whatever, but I had to do an ultrasound. Pam and some of the other friends in here knows this. I was like up like until like 7, 8 in the morning. Can't go to sleep because my appointment was early at 9. And the crazy part was they made you fast like after, like before midnight the night before, from eating or drinking, so that they could put this weird lotion on you, and then they put this roller thing that kind of just like scans underneath. So I go through all this crap and everything, and I finish. I'm done. I'll go back home and I go to sleep because I didn't sleep from last night. Only to wake up to see their message saying, oh, we couldn't do the test properly because there was a lot of liquid. So basically, I had drank so much water yesterday, even before 12 o'clock, that basically couldn't verify things. So I have to do it freaking again. Yeah. So that tackles that. Now, let's jump into this. Okay. What did the Nasdaq send the SEC on a proposal of what? Now, you guys that can fact check this from 3.5, 4 months ago, you guys remember when AB was making such a huge fuss about the SEC regulation that is quoted as this. It's basically called S702-22. And it is exactly, the name of it is Exchange and Alternative Trading Systems, ATSs, which is dark pools, that trade U.S. Treasury and agency securities, national market system, and MS stocks, and other securities. So basically, dark pools, all of them in general, the ones that trade U.S. securities, bonds, whatever, and then all the other dark pools. In that time frame, everybody at that time was focusing on that regulation 2021-10. That was like the big thing, that the whole bailout for the securities and everything, and it got pushed over to September or November, right? We remember that. First it was taken off and all that stuff. And I was telling everybody, hey, don't put too much. I remember it was coming on that March 3rd theory time frame, when Lou, for example, was pushing March 3rd, and a bunch of other YouTubers were pushing the idea of, 2020-10 is the rule and all that stuff, and we need transparency and all this stuff, but they failed to tackle the right regulation until now that tackles all that stuff. And I'm going to show you some of these things. So first of all, can the people in here fact check this? The people that have been with AB for a long time, can you fact check the what I'm talking about so far? Anybody else can say, no, you weren't talking about this 4 months ago or 3 months ago. Please put it in the chat. All of you, any of you, please just put what you remember hearing from AB, because I know there's a lot of people that joined the channel newly within the past month or so, and they didn't have access to that stuff. And we've been in the times, or in this play, where people just kind of, because the play is day to day, so people pay attention to the newest stuff. So older stuff kind of gets swept under the carpet, even though that's what it is. Thank you, Mr. Warren Forks. I appreciate you. Frankie Mohammed, thank you, brother. And you should reconsider, what you want to do with your channel. I respect your decision, brother, but you have a niche and people within that circle, that you're following, that appreciate the delivery of your message. I've seen some of those comments, so for whatever it's worth, possibly reconsider what you were talking about. Look at us in here. 100%, and had us go leave our own comments. So Pabloco, you left your comment on that regulation, didn't you? On the ATS regulation. Much love to you. Adrian, welcome in here. And Pantheon, look at that background. AB is styling and profiling. I'm only just, trying to be just a little of what you guys, bring to the table. I am very, very small, and the fry left outside the bag. Hold on 1 second. Let me just adjust this real quick. Sorry. There we go. Better. All right. Thanks, Pantheon. Appreciate it. This is down in the man cave. This is where I do karaoke in with you guys, or when we talk on Discord. This is where it's where the magic happens. So since the fact checkers had fact checked what we were talking about, if you go and open S70222, which was reopened after April 18th. You remember back in early March, in fact, end of February, I was telling people to go, please write your comments on this. Don't focus too much on this on the NSCC 2020-10 regulation and all that stuff, because that stuff has been pushed over and over and over since the year of 2020, and even beyond that. Now, here's the thing. We know, or I don't want to say we know, I precisely knew all along, and I broke down the whole diagram of what's in it for each counterparty to why the effery is happening, or why the manipulation is happening on every level. I broke it down from the small level all the way to the feds. And you guys, I'm presuming the fact checkers are still in here, so you guys can stop me at any given moment. And obviously, it's all I advise you to stop me if I'm saying something that I didn't say before. I said before, and I'm not. I really didn't say it. But I've broke that down back then because it's the thing that made sense. Now, were there things to follow up with it to show it? Not much, but what I can show in receipts is these people's, these evil entities, their messages, their responses. They're talking to the SEC too. And if we look closer, if this was a wide, big channel to show these things, you would see a lot of more people will be talking about this. But if you go to the sec.gov rules, and somehow on April 18th, when the comments were closed on that regulation on S70222, it got reopened for further comments, and it was kicked down to June 13th, which was a few days ago, and that was the closing of the comments. Now, will they open it again for more comments? Probably. But if they don't, I would like to walk you guys through, and I want all of you to go and open that and just have fun reading. It's so broken down. It's not like it's confusing terms. No, you get to see the entities that are against you, lined up against you, and you get to see what they're saying. I'm going to show you glimpses of some of these things, and you're going to be just baffled with like what you hear. One second, let me just open this real quick. So I'm gonna give you the thoughts of Citadel, Virtue, and then the thoughts of even Nasdaq. Nasdaq did a wonderful job. 20 something pages, 27, 28 pages of showing everything since 1998. Why is it terrible? Why is this system is terrible? A lot of people are looking at these platforms like the Nasdaq or NYSE or anything like they're part of this issue or any of that stuff, but they're one second, let me pull this up so I can show you what they exactly said. But they stand on a big loss, because when these entities like the Citadels, the market makers, all these entities, when they go off counter and they go through via dark pool and do all the manipulation is done there. This is, again, I will stand strong by saying this, and you guys can fact check what I was saying back then. All that manipulation is going through there. The Nasdaq as an agency loses because it is, like it specifically says in there, that more than 60%. I wonder if that particular figure rings a bell in the back of your heads. But over 60% of orders are routed and going through dark pools. That's exactly what the Nasdaq is saying. So they are a counterparty of a loss. They're like, in a way, they're like us. And they see a lot of fingers being pointed at them. But when you look at the regulations that are put in, they specifically voice it out to the SEC saying, give us more ammunition so that we can battle the competition in the dark pools. The dark pools have like such an amazing competition that it would only be stupid, apparently, for these big associations to not manipulate and just go do business there. That's literally what the Nasdaq is voicing out. Let's see. Reading the comments. Sorry, guys, there's a lot of regulations in the Federal Register. Look, SEC extends comment period for proposed rules for climate-related disclosures, reopens comments period for ATSs. Today, the commission. Oh, wow. So look at this. This is something that I personally have just now read. So this is perfect. The public comments for that regulation that I'm talking about for the proposed rulemaking, private fund advisors, documentation of registered investment advisor compliance reviews, which is a separate regulation that is also being combined with that. and the amendments regarding the definition of exchange or dark pools that trade U.S. Treasury and agency securities and all the other securities in the market. January 26, 22 will be reopened for 30 days. The scope of the comment process. Oh, wow. Okay, so yes, there's no saying here when it's going to hit the Federal Register, when they're going to make their minds. They could easily kick this down the road again, or they could definitely just put it up on the Federal Register to be in effect. Why is this thing not opening? Okay, right here. So when you open S-7022, here's what you're going to see. S70222, you're going to see things like this. If you're doing it on your phone, it's going to look like this. You see all these small things, and I could keep all these, ladies and gentlemen, are comments, and that were sent to them by people who wanted to comment on it. Pabloco, you're probably one of them in here, because it says an anonymous, many anonymouses in here. But there's many that we know. Let's look at Nasdaq. And again, I wish I could do screen sharing so I could like highlight exact parts and kind of like go through it. But this needs a long time of just reading through it. So feel free to go read these. And you're going to, again, it's not going to be something where it's like a long book. No, Nasdaq was the longest. Citadel was only a page, and it's like a half a page. Virtues was like 4 or 5 pages. But in the same time, their response and to all these amendments is exactly like Citadel's. Let's look at Citadel in here, and look when they submitted theirs. Citadel submitted their comment exactly since they reopened the comment section after the 18th. They opened it up on the 19th. Like they submitted their comment on the 19th. Give me 1 second. So April 19th, Stephen John Berger, okay? That's, again, apparently somebody in Citadel. And here's his accolades in Citadel. He's a managing director of global head and government and regulatory policy of Citadel Securities. You open up the file and you got to download it. It's very small. You'll see stuff like this. You see the Citadel logo on top? It's very, very not clear. I wish this is so ratchet. I hate this. Oh, well. We'll live. So, yeah, you can see the Citadel now. And they submitted it on April 18th, but it got through on the 19th. That's when this SEC received it. In a nutshell, in a page, in a very small 1 1/4 of a page, they basically say, we respectfully say that this is not going to work. And in their words exactly, in order to provide further clarity to market participants as stated in the proposal dedication of multiple is not necessarily in order to ensure multilateral RFQ trading venues are appropriately captured, as such systems do not have a single counterparty. We recommend the Commission to avoid making revisions to the long-standing exchange definition that are not strictly necessary in order to capture multilateral trading venues. Similarly, we recommend the Commission consider providing additional clarity regarding the intended scope of new terms added to the exchange definitions, such as trading interest and communication protocol, in order to avoid unintended consequences. Here's the funnier part at the end. We appreciate the opportunity to provide comments on the proposal. Please feel free to call the undersigned at, look at this. He put a number, but he, like the SEC have blacked it out so that, you know, apes like us do not capture it and go ahead and call the man. You see that black right there? They blacked it out so that nobody calls Mr. Stephen John, managing director. Now that's the SEC. If anybody wants to go and read it thoroughly through it, go right ahead. You see where that is in the comments section. Now, who also submitted? Virtue Financials. We all know those guys too. You guys see their logo on top and their name. So AB's not just, you know, bringing it from him. They say, while we recognize that the intent of the proposal is to enhance the regulatory construct, government fundamental and critical component of the infrastructure of our capital markets, we respectfully submit that the Commission has failed to meet its burden in justifying why the proposed changes are needed. No, we don't need anything. F the retail investors. We are having so much fun in this. And wait till you hear Nasdaq's comment to the SEC, because or the benefits of the proposed changes. And in doing so, the Commission has deviated from its mission and statutory authority, most notably, and then they start bringing them, you know, like law articles. And everything from there on out, they go ahead and they say, no, 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 this is terrible, to every little thing in the SEC's proposal on regulating the ATSs. Now, let me see, where's NASDAQ? I'm just flying through them for you guys because I think everybody should go ahead and like kind of read these. And I need some help presenting this forward, like on a bigger, like full way. And I'd be more than glad not to even say a single word on this, but I will need some eyes on this. And I think it tells a lot when you see what the other counterparties are saying, the people that are against us, and also it clarifies who's also against us in this movement. So when you see the Nasdaq's one, it's 24 pages, and I could kid you not, if you go through all those 24 pages of reading, and again, it will be 24 pages that are fun to read, like a regular book. There's no weird terminology that you're not going to understand. I can assure you that. It's all pretty clear. The Nasdaq even shows, or in diagrams and in paragraphs, shows how it's so challenging for them to try to compete with the over-the-counter trading in the dark pools. They even state that over 60% of stocks are getting dealt with over there. In fact, they can't even compete with the prices. Like, things in the dark pool are getting way better closing and prices for per share or for orders, even whether in quantities or whatnot. And they even have proposed in those 24 pages what they see. And they obviously, they see things more than retail, because they're the person who's seeing, all the orders coming in, at least to their, market. And they have more hands-on since day one. So they see the picture a lot more clear. And when you hear them over here talking about how they think that they could benefit and why they are accepting what the SEC is proposing, and they are pushing the SEC forward and saying, like they're literally telling the SEC, please go ahead and do it, because what you've brought out back in 1998, and they specifically proposed that in there for the markets, was maybe good then, but technology, literally in these terms, technology changes at a break of a neck, and you're still using these old ass systems basically from back then. And like there's no way, like there are some participants that is saying in this market that have utilized all this to their advantage to the point where they capitalize so much that no other counterparties can replicate. They put a foot down. That's what they did. And they're basically saying that, you know, overall they agree totally with the SEC on those on that regulation, or to pass that. Right now, it came back from comments back in June 13, which was what, 5 days ago, 6, 7, 8 days ago, a week ago. And it didn't hit the Federal Register as far as I've seen so far. So I need to see that and do some more stuff on that stuff. But I think you guys will all enjoy to read the comments of these big players, and there's many more in there. And I hope that it does go through as far as regulating those, you know, dark pools. Okay, let me read some of the comments because I don't want to continue on going. I want to make it as short also, so that the people who don't see this or see this later can go ahead and, you know, be a little more enthusiastic about watching it. Brendan and Ella's Fun Adventures. How are you, my friend? Let's see. I appreciate the fact that you think it looks good, Pantheon. One day you perhaps can, you know, see it and join in. Hi, Rhonda. How are you doing? Dips Patel. How are you, my friend? Good evening, brother. And D. Robinson. How are you, my friend? Jason Scott. Moas feels closer than ever. And Jason Scott, you know what's funny is that Moas should have been feels near more than ever since January of 2021. And now it's getting closer and closer. Yes, liquidity and all that stuff and everything, but it's very, very important to keep an eye on the things that are happening in the background, even in different sectors. Like a lot of what's happening, I understand a lot of people know that the crypto must dump in order for, I guess, us to be the counterparty to that. But I wasn't looking at the crypto dumping for that perspective or that reason. And in fact, crypto is not out of the shadows. Like, don't let this fool you, this stuff. Like on the last technicals that I've looked at, as soon as I got up after all that crazy day with the doctors and everything, is look, one of them is SHIB, and it's losing 77%, not 70, sorry, 7% already of what that 30-40% that it gained earlier. But here's the cool part. Here's how you could tell through technicals, guys, of where that next level of support and resistance that they have there. So if you can see here, I'm gonna, okay, so in the past 3 months, relative movement for SHIB, for example, I could do this with Bitcoin, Ethereum, and I will, and you will see like how this is very, very, very cool. So if you look here on this, I hate to continue to do this as well. Hold on, better, no more light. I'll be a little darker, but you'll see. This is right here, this run up. This was the last run up, as in right now where we were at. Look over here before it goes dark. Look over here. You see that? That is right there. The last place that SHIB itself was at before the current selling or bear market that the crypto got into, right? On this run up, that we had this early this morning, and throughout the day today, you see how we touched that same level, but guess what happened now? We're on the way back down. So basically, to me, that's a psychological level that was at some point a support level for this, for example, this coin and this algorithm. And when it met it again, which was today, early this morning, guess what it's doing? It's doing a hard, sharp turn. Instead of it's being a support, it's becoming a resistance. And right now, if SHIB doesn't somehow do a back down and then a reversal back up, this could easily start having a fall out of nowhere throughout the night or early this morning hours before in the pre-market that, we're just not used to. It could consolidate there, but unless it breaks that psychological level that is supposed to be and hold above it, which was 4 zeros instead of 5 zeros right now. It's in front of it. It's like 0.50979. It needs to hold and break and hold that level of 0.401076. So it needs to hold there for a while, and obviously to confirm that it's consolidating on that level, and it's turning that level into support once again, ready to go back up again. Now it's not doing that. It met that resistance. It fell back down. Now what is it going to do? It's going to go ahead and reach that level again and go up, or is it consolidating right here, or is it going to have a sharp fall? We're going to see that tonight. I do wholeheartedly believe that we're going to see that tonight. If it doesn't, then we'll see in the consolidation form over the next couple of days. Same thing with Bitcoin. Bitcoin needed, and I was telling this to some of my friends yesterday over the phone, Bitcoin needs to break 22,600 roughly dollars, as far as I see here in the technicals, in order for it to officially confirm to me that it's doing a reversal. And it doesn't have to be a reversal that's going to 100K per Bitcoin. No, a reversal to try to take it back up to above 32,000, which is where we were at before the major catastrophic beginning of the sell-off that happened on Bitcoin. Where are we right now? At 20 and a half. We're $2,000 away, which is roughly about 9%. No, not that much, but anywhere between 5 and 8%. I haven't done the math again. I just report straight to you guys. But as I'm seeing it here, it's still in that bearish trend, and it could at any given time now retest that $17,800 level that it dropped to, and then perhaps even lower. Same thing with the other coins. I see that. And look at AMC today, our favorite stock. AMC opened up at 1253, right? And it closed at 1250. There's something about this level that we're in. And if you go back a year in time to date, this is the same level that we bounced off from to make the all-time new high in June of 72 or 74 bucks exactly back in that time. So there's something about this level that I guess we're filling up from where the lift off that we had back in June, and we're just filling up the gaps in between. I know we filled up the gaps in the $14 range that some technical analysis people seen, and that was true. We filled up some of the gaps. We filled up the gaps in the 16. We even filled up the gaps in the $11 range. And now we're in this level where exactly that's where we bounced off, and we consolidated for a while, and we broke off.